Welcome to another episode of the Fitish podcast. We're back, and this one's on camera again, people.
Yay, I guess, even though I kind of look like shit. I'm sorry I was taking some time before the podcast just now because I got a message from like a weird iCloud account.
Okay.
A text, and I opened it up, and it's from Rizexy, Rizexy. Never heard of it, never seen it, like didn't show up in my contacts. I open it up, and it's Francisco because of what he sent me, the video he sent me. It's my fiance, and I'm disturbed by this. Like,
is it a secret email that you didn't know about? Is
exactly.
It
I said to him, he was like, can you take this drone video and make it look good? He knows I can like edit stuff well. And so he's been taking some drone of the building he's selling. And I'm like, no. What the fuck hidden account is this? What is this? Rizexy?
That means it's like a sexy with it, like his last name with sexy on it.
He's like, ha ha ha. I've had this for a while on my iCloud. I don't know why it shows up like that. Try again is what I said. Try again.
Oh no, see, Jenna's on one right now.
Try again. Cisco. I was like, how are you with someone? How long have we been together now? This is why I'm not married yet.
First of all,
still don't know everything about this person.
Most people have at least 2 emails.
Oh, I have a bunch of emails,
right?
But and that would be like me being like genitalia at iCloud.com. Like, get out of here.
Are you caught on the Xy on like because it sounds like a sexy,
Xy? That's like he's either had it since he was 13, which it's an iCloud account, so we know that's not true. But like how usually you see everyone's weird, embarrassing emails because like the Netflix login, for instance, when our Apple TV pops up, he has 4 different email addresses. I have 2 different ones on there. I don't have that many personal email addresses anymore because I hate having too many to keep up with. But I get it. We have a lot of different Fitish ones that we use. But this is weird. This is like a custom personalized, weird, hidden, using it on a dating app probably.
No, that's probably his oldest account that he has. And he just happens to be attached on his iCloud to that one. And there's nothing wrong or anything that he's trying to hide. Otherwise, he probably would have been a lot more careful to use it, right? We all have embarrassing, like my old AOL, back in the day, my AOL email was scpimp5@aol.com. If Kinsey saw that coming in, would she get mad at me? Nah, that's just me back in the day, just pimping.
I've had a day of reminiscing before you got to the office today. Something came up earlier. The girls and I were talking about something, or I know what it was. I got an email from someone from high school that I haven't heard of, thought about in a very long time. They wrote us on a Fitish account that we have. The info at Fitish, I was checking the inbox to see if we had any good, listener, viewer emails for today. And I'm like, oh, like blast from the past. So it got me down the spiral of Facebook.
Oof.
I mean, I don't even know how to use Facebook anymore, but I was looking up people that I went to high school, or like I saw my college boyfriend on there. Like he married a girl that I went to college with.
You Facebook stalked an ex?
He has me like blocked.
What?
I think like the girl, or like we were friends and then we're not friends anymore. So I think like the girl that I know that he married must have like asked him to do that. It's the strangest thing. I mean, we don't really keep in touch like we used to, like every couple years, like say hello. But I mean, there's nothing to worry about there or anything like that. I mean, he has a family, but it was weird that I'm like, oh man, I guess she didn't want him ever looking at my shit.
This is funny because just in the last year or so, I was doing the same thing. You get on Instagram and you see a friend of a friend, and I'm friends with my ex-girlfriends from high school because it's high school.
Yeah.
It wasn't like none of them were marriage or potential to marriage. It was literally high school relationships for that teenage.
Exes, yeah.
Yeah, and they know that. I'm sure they felt the same way about me. You date people in high school and then you go off to college and then you meet your wife, which is what I did. But I'm friends with most of my ex-girlfriends from high school.
Yeah.
And this is weird because one of them, I noticed, like full on Facebook, defriended me, and on Instagram stopped following me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, understandable. Maybe I get that. And then I'm fishing around a little more. I see a friend of an ex-girlfriend. I'm like, oh, cool. I see she's tagging. I'm like, what's she up to? She got married. She had a baby. She stopped following me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's weird. So then it got me, I was like, I'm 2 for 2 ex-girlfriends that now do not follow me on social media. And petty me was like, well, if you're not going to follow me, I don't want to freaking see your crap. So I unfollowed both of them too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go and check a couple of, another ex-girlfriend of mine doesn't follow. All my ex-girlfriends unfollowed me on social media, basically is what I'm getting at.
Maybe it's not just you though. Maybe they unfollowed a lot of people. Like I told you I deleted all of my Facebook friends about 7 years ago. I mean, even people I knew so I could start from scratch. Because I had like 5,000 friends on there. It was stupid. I didn't even know everyone. So I'm not following or friends with like most people that I know, you know, or you get married and it's disrespectful. I mean, I see that happen, that people unfollow people they used to hook up with or dated just because why would you still keep up with them? It's kind of playing with fire.
Yeah, but it was interesting because I didn't see a reason to follow, but we went to high school and we've known each other basically. All those people that I dated basically in high school, I've known them since some of them elementary school or middle school. And so I just thought, we're at least all friends and stuff and we could keep up. But that might be the case. It might be just because
they either unfollow, maybe don't take it so personally. I always look at it because sometimes it's hard. I mean, sometimes when you catch someone that you've known for a long time and you see that they're not following you and you're still following them, like you can't help but get kind of offended. But I always say that sometimes people just purge because maybe following you makes them feel bad about their life. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't post that much anymore. Just because of the negativity on social media.
Or maybe they have controlling, possessive husbands that are like, who the fuck is this? Oh, I used to date him.
Yeah. So basically, I unfollowed all the ex-girlfriends because I saw that they were following me, and that's fine. I totally understand it. At first, I was like, oh, did I do something to make them mad at me? I don't talk to them. I don't ever like their pictures. I don't ever see them liking my pictures. So basically, it's like a ghost profile. It's just like I'm basically a number on their followers list.
I think that's good, but you should flip it and be like, that's good husband material. That's good husband behavior. You unfollowed all your ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, I did. And then I thought about it. I'm like, does Kinsey, I don't think my wife follows any of her ex-boyfriends. And so then I started thinking, well, then I shouldn't follow any of my ex-girlfriends either. So that also put into effect the unfollowing spree.
I guess I don't. I mean, I don't know. You know, as an adult, it's like, I guess there's people that I follow that I have hooked up with, but I wouldn't really consider them.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, I take that back. She does follow one of her ex-boyfriends. The ex-boyfriend right before me that she was kind of dating this dude in college. She follows him, but.
Hey, I clearly, with the way I started this podcast today, I am not the gauge on security in the relationship when I'm mad about what appears to be a secret iCloud account. So we're going to have to catch up with Franny, and I'll fill you in next week on what his terrible excuse for that is.
I bet you it's nothing. I think it's an old email and it's just attached to that promise.
But since we're talking about good partners, I got an interesting email, and I think you may be able to weigh in here a little bit just as a man. It's more about IVF, but this is from a man in the relationship. Hey, Jenna and Jose.
Oh, shout out, bro.
Yeah, he's calling you by your full name. My name's Hunter. My wife and I are currently going through IVF. A little background. We went to high school together. We're just friends all throughout school. Fast forward a few years, we've been able to purchase a nice home, trying to start a family, but all the failed attempts are getting to be really tough. I'm trying to be supportive, but it's aggravating wanting a kid so badly and not being able to have one. I guess my question is, what are some ways I could not be such a dick? Because sometimes my anger gets the best of me, and I'm the shitty person that reminds her it isn't my fault. Okay, Hunter, what are some things Fran has done to make your life easier? This is pretty complicated.
First, it's going to be weird, but let me compliment you, Hunter, because you notice. Okay, that's the number one step when you're an asshole. You know, and you can admit it. You have been the asshole at times in this relationship. You admit it and you see it and you want to fix it. So that is really, really, really good. Right?
I was not going to compliment Hunter.
No, I'm telling him that's a good thing that he notices it, because the worst kind of asshole is the one that doesn't think they do anything right. And they're going to continuously bring that person down. He knows he's not the good person in this situation. So the fact that you are means you want to get better. And I will compliment you when it comes to that, because the fact that you want to better yourself and better yourself for your partner is everything in a relationship.
Fertility struggles can nearly end, and probably do end, relationship. So I do find your response to be very immature. I think that you're feeling a lot of emotion and just not processing it well, because yeah, it can be really difficult, but it doesn't matter whose fault it is. You know, you love someone, you're trying to have a family. It takes two of you. You know, there's a lot of, you know, things that can be done, but Fran, I've been very lucky there. Fran's been great, but I'll tell you what, him reading some books about supporting your partner through fertility, and that came at my advice, like just read some shit. I'm not going to tell you what to read. You go find stuff that appeals to you about this. There's plenty of material out there. Read, and he prefers to listen to audiobooks, you know, when he's driving to appointments and to work so he can fit it in. But I can always tell that he's been listening to stuff, especially by the way, what he's been doing lately. He'll say things like every day. Thank you so much for the sacrifices you're making for the family. Like, I know that that's like therapized. That's like therapized kind of, you know, lingo that he's learned. But it shows that he's at least been like engaging himself and trying to find ways to make it better. You know, there's things that aren't just words that you can do. Like, I've found that I wish, Hunter, no guy will ever understand how awful you feel as a woman if you're not able to do what you feel like you're supposed to do and get pregnant. You know, like the kind of shame you feel. Even someone like me, like I was like, I'm not going to care that much if I have to do IVF, but like the toll it takes on your body is so much I can't even describe it. And so you're lucky with your emotional, immature response that it's not your fault, because imagine if it was your low sperm count or your lack of sperm, how hard that would be on your relationship, because the way men respond in that way I've heard is so difficult. They like completely shut down. They're so angry.
I thought you were gonna say you're lucky she didn't walk away, bro.
Yeah.
You took. Here's the thing we cannot do as human beings. Okay, we cannot be assholes towards somebody else, especially somebody you love, Hunter. You can't be an asshole to someone based on something they can't control. That is not. She didn't do anything wrong in her life, right? To be where she's at. This is just the card she was dealt. It's like when you see somebody on I hate these TikToks that I see, like, if you're a guy and you got a 5 on your height as the first number, don't talk to me.
Yeah, people are so picky.
What the hell? No, like a guy can't control his height. If you're a guy and your penis is not 8 inches, don't talk to me. A guy can't control his penis size. Okay, like if you're a girl and your boobs are flat, I don't want. Shut up, bro. Like things like that. You cannot control appearances. You cannot control fertility when it comes to women. You cannot control penis size. You can't control boob size unless you get a boob job. There's things that we cannot control as humans that we can't use that as a weapon. We can't use it as a weapon.
I think that you just have to bite your tongue sometimes, and even if you don't believe it, you just need to try and be emotionally supportive. That's it. That's the end of it.
It's that easy.
Just stop yourself and go, what can I do to make her feel better? Things that have made me feel better, and we've read a lot of books on this, especially the same goes if a woman's pregnant. Like, just do things without being asked. Like, help out with some laundry. Do the dishes, you know, don't always make sex about sex. They say, you know, intimacy can it becomes a very frustrating thing for the woman because you have to have sex to try and get pregnant. So it becomes this like chore. So just be intimate and be sweet and be kind and don't talk about it and just be supportive, and you'll be really impressed at how much better things get. And hey, if none of that works, then you should use a resource that's a sponsor of the Fitish podcast, BetterHelp.
Yes.
JC and I are
this
huge
will help you, Hunter,
fans.
for sure.
You know, we've been open about therapy. I mean, JC and I have done therapy alone. We've done relationship. I don't know if you and Kinsey have done therapy together. Fran and I have done couples therapy.
We did therapy together, and our therapist said, Kinsey, you could sit out the next few ones. I got to get into Jose.
That's amazing. So it was all his fault.
It was my fault.
Yeah, she probably paid her to do that.
I was the broken one in that realm.
But look, life is stressful. Trying to get pregnant, fertility issues are very stressful, like one of the top stressors, they say. So look, check out BetterHelp. It's great, especially, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Guys tend to be more averse to seeking help for things, and there's no excuse because you don't even have to have your camera on. This is virtual therapy. It's more affordable. You don't have to go in person and talk to someone that way. You can just sit there over audio on your computer and find a qualified therapist to fit your needs and express
certified
yourself.
Therapist, by the way. So if you're thinking, is this real people? Like I can actually use these? Yes, they are all awesome. They've been vetted through. They know what they're doing. Unload
the stressors. Get some unbiased feedback. You're going to be really surprised at what you gain from it. And you can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Fitish. That's betterhelp.com/Fitish, BetterHelp.com/Fitish. Again, for 10% off your first month. I love therapy.
Me too. Now, Hunter, try to date your girl again. You know, start like you're dating her over. Try to make her fall in love with you again. I know you hurt her feelings. I'll give you one last little piece of advice, because I was like you, and I was one of those people that when I was hurt, I would say the meanest thing possible that came into my mind.
It's
a defense mechanism.
Hard for me. I am so the antithesis of that person, and Fran kind of fights that way. And there were times that when he would do that, I would stop and go, I don't even want to be with you anymore, because I can't wrap my head around how people, and you obviously being this way, like explain to me how you can just say such mean things that you can't take back during a fight.
I could take it as I don't think I was developed enough as a man. Because I'm talking about when I was a teenager. It's emotional
right?
maturity, right? So I was not emotionally mature. And I remember one time Kinsey and I got in a fight, and I said something really mean regarding like guys she dated in the past or something, right? Which, who cares? She didn't know me before we started dating or anything like that. But I said something that was just hurtful. That was the one time that I can recall that I said something that I can think back. And as soon as I said it, I thought to myself, I wish I wouldn't have said that. And that was a moment I thought I was going to lose her. And it was early in our relationship. I'm talking months into the relationship. So I don't know why she stuck around. She did though. You have to always have some sort of fence or a security system before it comes out of your mouth. Because first it's in your brain, right? Before it comes out your mouth. Every time.
You got to filter it.
You got to filter yourself.
I mean, we all think mean things, I'm sure, when we're fighting. But like, holy shit, low blow. I mean, there were a few times Fran did that to me, and I was like, ooh, what? This is, I can't, I can't. And then I kind of realized, okay, Jenna, a flaw of mine is like, I can be so unforgiving, like so stubbornly unforgiving if someone does something that bothers me, that I was like, if you love this person and this is a flaw and he doesn't mean it, like you're going to have to, I mean, it's not like he's like, I'm going to kill your dog. Like, not, but like pretty mean.
It's
like stuff that's like, like some mean things have been said. And I was like, oh, it's hard because it sticks with me for so long, but you have to learn that like, if that's someone's weakness, you have to forgive it.
How many times do you catch yourself? You're about to say, and you're like, you know what? That's not how I truly feel. I'm saying it out of anger. That's what you got to learn how to do. I don't know what exercise, maybe therapy will help you with that. It helped me. I literally have had things travel. I have to visualize my thoughts from my brain to my mouth. And
don't you feel like an ugly person that you even think those things?
No, because it's anger. It's not truly you. It's in the heat of the moment. A lot of us have done and said things in the heat of the moment.
But I always feel like there's truth in those things.
Maybe a little bit of truth, or maybe you feel it at the time, but it doesn't mean it's 100% true. At the time, maybe to you on your brain and your anger it is, but it doesn't mean it's going to be true in the morning. You're not going to feel that way in the morning as well, right?
Yeah.
It's always in the anger. Anger is what brings out the negativity. And so you just have to practice that and make sure like it's coming. Should I? No, that's not
Man,
me.
relationships are so hard.
It's not just guys, it's girls too.
It's girls. I've had to work on, I don't think I've told you all this. Like I've had to work on some real issues. I mean, with myself when we went to therapy. I mean, you have to be open when you go to therapy because you're going to get a lot of criticism usually from a therapist about how you argue or how you do things. And so it can make you both kind of mad, like that car ride home usually, or like, oh, you're both mad because you're kind of thinking like who did better, but if you can really be open to it. I mean, a big issue for me, I can be really stubborn, but I've never been the type of woman that ever really like wants to listen to a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he has a complaint about something with me, I feel I get this like very feminist kind of, well, fuck you then, like that kind of response, which isn't good, And so we had an issue that, I hate, it bothers me to even say it because the whole situation still bothers me. But like Fran got really mad about, and look, he's a Latin man. I wish he would more embrace his culture and stereotype of being a little more like, he's passionate. Y'all are passionate. I always worried it would lean like a little jealous. And I answered the door one day to some guys that were coming over to move furniture, and I had a white t-shirt and I had no bra on. Like I had just woken up. He was so mad at me. And
that is a cultural thing.
And I am, I'm this type of, and I guess it's bitchy, but I'm like, it's my body. I'm 37 years old. I buy my own clothes. Like it's my life, right? Like I'm not slutty. And we got into it. I was like, I'm not flashing people. Sometimes I dress, and you'll have seen me throughout many years of my life. If you've listened to the show and JC's seen me, I was like, sometimes I wear workout clothes. Sometimes I dress slutty. And sometimes I dress like Mormon and really covered up, or because that's like, what I'm feeling that day. I look at fashion as just like an expression of myself and how I'm feeling. I'm not like intentionally ever trying to like show my boobs to someone. It kind of made me mad because I'm like, well, fuck off. I'm going to dress however I want. So this came up in therapy. I was mad. I mean, I was mad that he was mad at me and the way he handled it and kind of made comments about how I was dressed. And
some men take that as a disrespect, right? Like it's disrespectful because you're turning these guys on, right? And I don't even know if it's a cultural thing. I think it's just a machismo thing.
The therapist,
like a pee in my territory type thing.
And that's what I looked at it as. It's like a man's trying to control me and my body, and she goes, don't look at it that way. She goes, he is protective over you. And why don't you, whether you agree or not, she's like, when you get in a fight with your partner, if your partner's upset about something, you don't have to understand why they're upset, and I thought that was really valuable because I think a lot of times men don't understand women and we don't understand where they're coming from. She's like, it doesn't matter if you love this person and something's bothering them, you have some choices there. You can either, you can acknowledge it, or you can be dismissive about it, but that's only going to make things worse. She's like, you don't have to agree with him, Jenna. You don't have to agree. He's not calling you a slut. He's not like that, but you can just, you could apologize. You can make an effort to not do that again. It makes him uncomfortable. And if you love him, even if you don't agree with it, then, don't look at it as this, he's trying to control my body. Look at it as he loves me and my body and he doesn't want other people seeing through my shirt, and that's just how he feels and that's who he is, and you don't even have to understand where he's coming from. You just have to probably say, well, I love this man, and okay. And it sat with me for a long time, and it really got me to kind of change my tune on it, because it's not like he's like, I love if you wear a sexy dress for me and we go out to dinner. Oh, yeah. It was more like I could see through your shirt and I would have answered the door, and it made me uncomfortable. And I knew the movers that were coming to do that. And so the more I thought about it, it made me a little less selfish. It made me like, this is why relationships are fucking hard and they suck, because single Jenna, and that's what she said. She thinks that we were both living very single-minded lives. Like single Jenna, you can do whatever you want, but you can't be in a committed relationship and like an engagement and a marriage with someone and continue to live with that single mentality. She thought that was our problem. And she said she sees that a lot with people that date as they're older, because you get very set in your ways. She's like, you're right. You buy your own clothes, but who cares, Jenna? Like your partner loves you and he's uncomfortable with it. And it really made me like, I was mad. I was so fucking mad because I felt like I wasn't winning, but it's true. Like, so what? I mean, is that the battle I want to have, And
pick and choose your battles. Right? And
because then of course I'm like, so he's allowed to go hop on his motorcycle and drive around. She's like, no, that's another issue. Like that's him being single behavior and not taking into account your emotions and your feelings. So that was always like our biggest issues, that she thought we were both living like single people who really loved each other, but you have to really start making sacrifices to make it work.
And then you got to learn your fighting styles too. Like, how do you guys argue? And Kinsey hates this about me this is turning like therapy right now, guys. This is cool. The one thing Kinsey doesn't like about me when we get into arguments is that if I feel myself getting too heated, or if I'm getting to the point where I feel like my voice is going to raise, because the one thing I will not do to a woman is I will not raise my voice. I refuse. I've been taught as a young boy.
That's great.
I will not. I was raised by
you find ways to
a single mom. Yeah, I was raised by a single mom.
To counter it though.
And so and she always told me, you do not, and in Spanish she said, a la mujer no se pega ni con el pétalo de una rosa. You don't even hit a woman with a freaking rose petal. That's how I treat women. And so if I feel like my voice is going to raise, I walk. Mm-hmm. I say, I can't do this right now, and I need time, and I turn and walk away. But Kinsey wants to finish things right away. Like she's like, no, we're in the middle of this thing right here. She's a little more fiery when it comes to that, and so she gets upset that I walk away in the middle of an argument.
Yep.
But I tell her I do that because I've seen myself when I was younger, and I had my anger issues mostly against dudes.
Yeah, and like it's not going to go anywhere good when you keep.
So I don't want my kids to ever hear me yell at her. I don't ever want my kids to remember. Yeah, I remember at one time my dad yelled at my mom. I don't want them to ever have that in their head. And so I walk away, and that actually makes her more angry towards me, where it elongates the fight from time to time. But I'd rather do that than
she's not. I get it. She's not getting her way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so but I need that for myself, because I don't want to get to that point. When you're about to lose your cool. You know when it's about to happen, right? We all feel it. You just got to know when to walk away.
You know, I saw the most interesting thing that reminded me. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a kids family when we went on our trip to Disney World with the radio show. We would take a bunch of families, and this family had like 7 girls. And I was spending a bunch of time with them one day. I mean, can you imagine having 7 little girls? And they were, multiple toddlers in the mix in there, obviously. And like, they were acting up. We were waiting to meet a bunch of princesses. And I can never get this out of my head because I just thought it was such an amazing tactic that like, I feel like we all have to utilize. But they had taught these girls so well how to manage. And I think you have that many children, you can't always manage all their heightened emotions. So this family, and I feel like I remember them being a little more like hippie, like granola family, but I loved it because I saw this girl, she wasn't even being bad, but she was getting like really worked up, really impatient, trying to wait to meet these princesses. We were in a line and the mom was like, you go stand over there and you know what to do. And I see this little girl go stand in the corner and I see her counting. She was doing 5 deep breaths. It's like they had taught these kids how to self-soothe. And then I'm going, what? I mean, this girl had to have been 4 or 5 years old. And I'm like, that is fucking amazing. And then I thought, God, as a parent, I hope I can be that great. I mean, to manage 7 kids. But the mom was like, she's fine. They know. We taught them breathing techniques. And it's so true. If you ever start to get worked up or anxiety, you start taking more shallow breaths. And if you can like stop yourself and walk outside.
Yep.
And do like 5 deep breaths, it really works wonders no matter how old you are or what's going on in your life. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen from like a 4-year-old knowing how to take 5 deep breaths. Because I didn't even do that. I'm sitting there going, this was 6, 7 years ago.
Subconsciously, like you've done in the past, but you don't think about doing it.
It's hard to stop and take 5 deep breaths actually, but it gets your heart rate down. I'm always so in awe of people that Fran and I started watching Ray Donovan. I don't know if y'all have watched that show with Liev Schreiber. It's so good. He's a fixer. He's like from Boston originally, but he has this crime background, but he's a fixer. So, like an athlete wakes up next to a dead hooker and he like covers it up. So he's like an amazing kind of PR fixer. The show's great. It's 7 seasons. Fran and I have been looking stuff to get into, but anyway, so we've been watching that show, but he's so stoic. And even when people are like here, and I told Fran, I go, I'm always so in awe of people that I think that's what's hard, especially like with your partner when you're fighting, is when someone's energy level, it's like the Karen, like when someone's energy level is up here and they're screaming and they're inconsolable, to stay here, and to just stay calm.
You don't need to mess levels.
People that handle things that way. Like I work so hard on that. Yeah, because when people get really emotional, it's like, how do you bring it back down? Because I tend to want to match someone's emotional range.
Most people do,
because I can get there. I'll fucking get there.
Oh, I'll get up there real quick. You want some?
I want to be here. But anyway, yeah, Ray Donovan like hardly says a word. The show's great, by the way. I mean, it's been out for a while. There's 7 seasons. You would love it.
I'll give you another show. I don't know if you're watching this with Franny. Sex Life. Have you heard of that show?
Of course I have. But I don't really tend to like that cheesy shit.
It's not cheesy. Well, maybe it is.
Yes, it is. I don't watch Bridgerton. I don't watch stuff that's like.
No, this is okay.
I thought this was like 50 Shades of Grey shit.
No, don't call. No, 50 Shades of Grey is like that. That's a
giant penis. That's all anyone like watches it for.
Acting's not that bad. Penis, yes. We have this conversation going on amongst people that are watching that show. All my friends. There's a scene in that show. Actually, sees episode 3.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, you've heard of this. I mean, if you've heard about this show,
everyone's heard of that.
Everybody's heard of that scene. I didn't know exactly what the scene was because I didn't want it to get spoiled. And so I'm sitting there, I'm using this like as a sexy time show, like right before bed, Kinsey and I are watching it. So I'm watching it straight out of the shower. Mm-hmm. Like I'm ready to go. Nakies. And then this dude walks around with his dong along.
Yeah.
And it made me self-conscious because I was like, oh, damn. Like my man's is walking over here with an elephant trunk.
We don't want that.
I know you don't want that.
It's shocking, I think, to see, but like, I don't want that in my life.
That's what Kinsey said too. She said that as well. She's like, I'm
happy with average.
She said that's not appealing to us women. That our vaginas are meant for regular sized wieners. And I was like, well, that's good to think about that. But still, as a guy, I would like one day just to see what's up with that, like what's going on, like just to walk around, accidentally have my pants fall down.
Did they ever determine? I mean, they've never really said if it's real or enhanced.
That's the argument we're having.
Yeah.
I'm on the side that it's a prosthetic.
Yeah.
Some of my Kinsey thinks it's a prosthetic as well. Some of my friends are thinking, our boy part-time Justin, he thinks it's a real thing. And I said, listen, bro, it can't be. Because how did the casting director just happen to hit the damn lottery with this extremely good looking Australian guy who also happens to be part elephant underneath the waist, right?
I couldn't handle that.
And you can't cast, seeking large penis for non-porn, right? Because then that's there's sexism, ageism. Is this penism? I don't know.
Right.
Or sizeism.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be casting because what if there's a average size penis or maybe even a micro penis man out there who would be great in this role? He just happens to lack the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
So just slap on a freaking prosthetic. Everybody could play large penis man. So if anybody knows, please. I've been scouring, trying to find out if that thing was a prosthetic.
That's disturbing, your Google search history, I'm sure.
Because it turns into an argument amongst friends, and I want to be right.
But like, why do you want to know that badly? Who cares whether it's real or not?
Because now it's a bet. Now it's us dudes are betting. Like Justin's saying it's real. I say vehemently that it's not real, and so now I have to be right. I have to be. And if I'm wrong, I'm just never going to bring it up. Unless he finds out and he brings it up.
I've encountered one. I've encountered like, I don't know, like I probably shouldn't talk about it. I've encountered, is it just, see now I'm like, after all that therapy talk, is it disrespectful? But look, I'm a grown woman, like we talk about stuff like this.
We're grown-ups, we've all had our lives.
I've encountered one large, I don't know, I haven't not seen Sex Life. I'm assuming it's like over the top because of people's reaction. I've encountered one very large, like uncomfortable for me, couldn't handle it. And I've encountered one micro.
The micro's what?
I mean, okay, I've seen photos of micros, so like I don't know if it was actually micro, but it was like that's just not going to do
micro
anything.
Penis, I believe, is something that is smaller than 2 inches when erect, if I remember correctly, or something like that.
Okay, I don't know about that, but it was on the small side. But I think like the average, whatever the average size is, like the one that's pretty run of the mill, like that most men tend to have.
That's the good stuff.
That's great. That's
what we need.
Fine for most all of us women. Yeah. We're just fine with that.
Nothing. Yeah, I'll be honest. Us guys, I don't know how girl showers are, but I remember when I got to high school. When I got to high school and I got brought up to varsity in football.
We didn't shower with each other like y'all did.
We do.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, we're so stinky and football is such a dirty sport.
But that just wasn't, we didn't do that.
But I can't tell you the relief I felt when I got brought up to these guys who are, some of them men, some of them were 18 and I'm over here at like 15 years old, around men. Grown ass, like these are men. You can vote, bro. Like you can live by yourself. A couple of them had tattoos. And I remember looking around and going, same. We're all fitting in over here. Nobody's lacking, nobody's packing, everybody's just same. And I felt so much relief that all my friends on my team, like most of them, like we all had pretty similar junks going on. And it made showering so much easier. Because in middle school, I was hiding. Like if you didn't have pubes, hide. Everybody wanted to have the pubes. If you had one pube, you showed that thing off.
Oh my God.
You had to, Jenna. We had this kid in 6th grade. He had a full-on bush. And I'm over here just praying, putting fertilizer on my guy.
You still have one hair, yeah.
We're trying to, like, in middle school, it was about the hair. In high school, it was more about, like, I just want to make sure that I'm blending in, that I'm not falling behind.
Why can't it be about the hair on the head? Why don't you have like hair envy? Why don't you keep it up here?
Because in high school, we're not worried. I wasn't worried about my hair, the health of my hair. Now I am.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a full grown man.
Because now you have hair envy, or if you don't have hair.
And I know you've heard us talk about pros. I freaking love pros. This is the world's most personalized hair care. Now you're wondering, personalized? Did that prick your ears? Yeah, of course it should. Don't go to the store and just buy random shampoo. You don't know what that's doing to your head. You don't know what you're putting on there. No, go to Pros, go to their website, take their in-depth hair quiz. They're going to ask you where you live. They're going to ask you what your goals are. You want more wave? Cool, we got you, bro. You want to get rid of some of that curl? You want to make it straighten out? Perfect. You feel like you're thinning out, bro? You need some vitamin action? Got it. So you let them know what you want, what you're looking for. Men, women, anybody, children. And then you get to pick your scent. I want flowery on it because I want people to look at me and go like, yeah, that man's one with nature. You even pick what your shampoo smells like and they'll send it straight to your house. So you don't have to go to the store. You don't have to guess what shampoo you got to be taking. You don't have to guess what vitamins are good for your hair. Pros will take care of all that for you. Here's the thing. Pros is a healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. You could take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. Just go to pros.com/Fitish. That's PROSE.com/Fitish for your free in-depth hair consultation and that 15% off. I'm telling you, I got thicker hair. I feel like I'm not balding. I'm at the age now where I'm like constantly looking, just like take a look.
Yeah, it looks great.
I know.
It looks good. It looks full. It looks pretty good.
But I will admit, and this is nothing I can do about it, I finally, at this age, found my gray.
Oh, shut up, dude. I'm full of silver. I mean, like,
well, you should have gotten pros.
Gray.
Should have gotten pros. It would have probably delayed it. I don't know if that's true.
No, I use hair dye for that. Yeah.
But here's the thing about gray hair. I was expecting this when I turned 30.
Oh my gosh, I had multiple at 28. My mom was fully silver, she said, in her late 20s.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Kinsey told me she started getting her grays at like 27, 28, and she would pluck them. I don't know what you did.
No, I hold on to those hairs. I'm not getting rid of the hairs. I dye them.
You re-dye? Oh, yeah. You don't want the population
Yeah, my hair actually grows so fast from like supplements and everything that I have to color my hair every 3.5 weeks.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to get a haircut every 2 weeks. That's not happening.
Fran got some membership somewhere, and it's great. He like goes in and gets his haircut, and it's just been, I don't know, it's been really cool to see him like getting fresh because, you know, then they trim the beard because he's real hairy.
These membership things, I'll get back to my gray hair in a second. These membership things are so cool because I was a member to a massage club. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I signed up for a massage club because it was like $10 cheaper than a regular massage would be if I got it every month. And I would get one free massage, 60-minute a month, or I can roll them over and accumulate hot rock massages, 90-minute massages, whatever Swedish stuff is going on.
Yeah, but then you ended up never going.
I never went.
Yeah.
I just would get too busy. I'd be like, I'll go next week. I'll go. And then I never went. And I had like, God knows how many months accumulated before I finally, I didn't cancel. I just changed my card.
Yeah.
That's what I do. When I want to cancel something, I just get a brand new debit card.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
I don't want to show up on your credit when they're like payment can't go through.
No, because it's a debit payment. It's not a credit card thing. So I just can't. Sorry. Can you change your card? I'm like, no, hablo inglés.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Am I doing it wrong? Am I getting my credit dinged?
It's possible. I mean, if someone really wanted to report you, you have to like cancel.
They don't have my social.
By legal though.
They don't have my social.
I don't think they always need your social to put it on your credit.
I've canceled car washes, massage places.
We'll check in with your credit score later.
My credit score is, last I checked, I was hovering around 8.
Oh, that's amazing.
It dipped a little bit because I bought a house, but I worked on my credit for a minute. But back to my gray, Jenna. Finally found this damn gray hair on my side of my head. And wouldn't you know, you don't bring homies to a party you weren't invited to because he brought like 4 or 5 with him.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it happens.
Do you see him?
No.
Oh, cool.
I don't. Do you know what I see right now? What I'm looking at that I've been anxiously waiting to talk to you about?
Sharks.
I am going to South Carolina next week on my annual family vacation.
Yes.
So I don't know. I may not. Yeah.
You know, Shark Week's over. Like that was a couple weeks ago.
No, actually, all this stuff was just on last week. And so that's where I found this. So I was watching about these killer great whites that only, the orcas that are only eating the liver of the great whites. That's another interesting
Why are
story
they
to talk
doing
about
that?
later. They all washed up. Have you not seen that?
Mm-mm.
All these great whites, like 5 or 6 washed up on the coast of South Africa. And all these researchers were like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? All these great whites, like who's murdering the great whites? Only their livers were missing. Perfectly munched out. It's the orcas. They're hunting the great whites, and the liver has so much like carb and fuel for them that they don't even need to waste time with the rest of it. They tend to do that to like the stingrays and the manta rays and stuff that they eat anyway. They only eat the liver because it's so fatty and full of fuel that they've been ganging up on great whites, eating only the liver. That's an amazing story.
Needs to chill out, bro, with the liver pate.
So there's this app, Search. So like ocean, but search, search. That's kind of a terrible name. I don't even know if this is the best one. But when you go, you can track any location, see how many sharks are in the area. The only downside is it's also going to show you the aquarium sharks. But right now, there's 30 active tagged. These are the tagged sharks, obviously, outside the coast of Myrtle Beach, where I will be going, like Jack's, for instance, an adult tiger shark at 12 feet 6 inches.
Shout
who
out.
he was named after, like when he last pinged, his location,
His weight.
So yeah, so amazing. So if you're going on a beach vacation and want to scare your kids from staying out of the water, just download the Shark Tracker app.
Do they got a body count on there?
A body count, yeah. Like look at this one. This one's circled. This one's like must be. Oh, this one just pinged today.
Miss Costa?
White shark. Subadult female, 1,600 pounds, 12 foot 5 inches.
What's the race have to do with it, by the way?
Wow. So she's a swimmer. She's a track star. So she's like actively pinging right now. So that's why she's glowing. Isn't that amazing?
That is wild. And it blew my mind when I found out that orcas were so mean.
Yeah.
Because I spent my life going to Reino Aventura in Mexico and then SeaWorld in San Diego and then seeing Shamu and seeing how nice Shamu was and doing all the cool tricks. And then I figured out maybe they weren't treated as nice. But
they're so smart. They can't. I know that. I hate all the captivity stuff.
But then when you find out that they're out in the wild just murking everybody.
Yeah. They're really the kings of the ocean. They really are.
Do they kill humans? Because I don't think we don't hear about orca attacks on humans, but they do are.
I think of course they do, or they drag them down, or unintentionally maybe. But yeah, they really are killer whale. Yeah, they really are. Pretty amazing though.
You heard about that guy that got swallowed by the whale, right? And lived to tell about it.
And then came back out.
Did we ever get to full details? Because I still feel like that was a fake story.
It might be, I know. But then that makes me feel bad for him that he made up that story. He needed attention.
I mean, that's a cool ass story to make up. Get you a book deal, probably turn into a movie deal, and then you're set for life.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like I might go out there and swim for a little bit and see if Shamu wants to holler.
Well, there's 30 active sharks. I don't know. I'll look at Texas. I'll show you. But yeah, the Shark Tracker app. Hey, it's at least kind of fun to see. Even though, being in Dallas right now, you look and there's like 8 and I'm like, there's no fucking sharks here, but it's showing all the
aquariums.
All the aquarium sharks that are in there too since they're
Mark Cuban lives in Dallas and so Shark Tank, maybe he gets tagged as well.
All right.
Do you know what to do if a shark attacks you?
No.
So you're just supposed to. I've heard you bop them in the nose. Which have you ever tried to punch it underwater? My fist is not moving very fast.
I need a poke. You need a poke and stick.
And then poke the eye.
Yeah, you need a poke and stick.
You go pop him in the nose and then poke his damn eyes, which is what I would do in a regular fight anyway, like with a real human.
Mm-hmm.
Nose, eye. I'm coming at it. And man, I might kick you in the nuts too if I could find the shark nuts. I'll kick those.
Well, I'm gonna go play on my Shark Tracker app. I'll let y'all know when I'm in South Carolina next week how many I see.
You would go in a cage with them?
Absolutely. That's a goal of mine. I want to do that one day. I've swum with sharks a bunch of times. I've never swum with the great whites though. But yeah, I love sharks. I think they're so scary and fascinating. I love them.
Last time I went surfing, there was a shark call out. I haven't been surfing since.
It's scary, especially now because they're coming closer and closer to shore. You got to think, they're hungry. They're hungry as shit.
They're so hungry.
Yeah, they're hungry. They're going to keep coming closer and get a little snack.
And I'm attracted. Mosquitoes are attracted to me, so I can only imagine what sharks want with this blood.
Mm-hmm.
I should become a crib.
You got that good Mexican blood?
I got that. It's spicy.
Spicy. All right. On that note,
it's got tahini.
We'll catch y'all next week.
Bye.